So now that we've got some nice compression going on there, compression will also help us when we have an envelope, so that the activation of the envelope will be consistent with the with notes moving up and down the instrument. The volume hitting the envelope will be the same. So it's been a while since we've played with our enzo. I believe it's in dry mode here, or wet mode, dry mode, whatever it's called. The non what's it called one? The non-synth one. So I can't remember what settings we were using last, but I do remember that that is how you turn off the delay. Honestly, I love the enzo so much. It's such an amazing pedal. Filter, and here's our envelope filter. Okay, so let's go back to our low note. So that's compression in this mode. We don't want any more compression, but one thing to remember is that the enzo dry mode does change the tone of the instrument. It's like kind of unavoidable, and I remember asking them about this. Let's open the filter up all the way. That's inevitably going to have an effect. Even with it all the way open, though. Delicious. Can't resist but play with it a little bit. Okay, let's do the work. Let's turn the envelope filter on. And of course we're going to need it completely dry. That's completely dry. Okay, for some reason we're not getting the effect. Maybe something to do with the kind of filter that we've got going on. Let's also make sure that we're in envelope filter mode rather than envelope follower mode. I believe that this would be envelope follower. Yeah, that's an envelope follower. bit more active. And some delay in there. But for now, what I want to do is take us out of envelope follower mode and see if we can get more of like a stronger effect from the envelope filter. Let's turn the resonance up nice and high. Okay, this should be a relatively open one, a relatively quick one, I should say. A relatively quick opening and closing filter. Yeah, I don't know why it's not completely cutting off the signal. I'm going to check the enzo instructions because I'm going to make sure that we've got everything going okay. This should be triggered envelope to envelope filter. Okay, yes, we've got that right. And this one here with the alt function is the shape of the synth wave from saw to square, which does not concern us right now. Okay, let's try that again then and see what the issue might be. See, we're getting the filter is opening and closing. You can hear it very clearly, but it's not cutting off the sound. That's the kind of effect that we're looking for. There's still stuff going through for some reason, even though the mix is all the way up. Okay, that's the idea of what we're looking for. Good. Not entirely sure why that's behaving the way it is. But we're not going to worry about that. At least that shows us that the theory is sound. That is rather confounding, though, because it should be cutting out the sound that's not in the filter. I don't think that the Q would change that. The Q is the resonance of the filter, so turning it up or down I don't think will change that. Also, turning the filter all the way up I don't think will change that either. That just means it's got nowhere to go. Okay. I'm gonna experiment very quickly with putting this here, seeing if that changes anything, because there are some different routing options at the back here. Okay. Yeah, no. That's exactly what I thought it would be. It's the dry out signal, which we don't want. Okay, well, that gives us rough proof of concept. We do have another pedal that's got a filter in it, the horizon, which can be used as an envelope filter. We will maybe substitute that in later and see how that goes. But for now, I want to try a mono synth and see if we can. Oh, actually, very quickly. Okay, we're gonna try a different. We're gonna try a different sample. We're gonna try a sample. That sample that's about the different volumes. Sorry, about the different textures, the tonguing and the clicking. I think this is the one. Okay. Maybe before we were in the wrong. Maybe it was outside the range of the filter or something. There we go. It was because it was such a low note. You can hear the harshness of the tonguing there. Okay. That cuts it somewhat. Doesn't cut the key click though. Okay, we'll make a very slow attack. There we go. Still doesn't cut the click. Okay, I do think that we're going to want to put the horizon in here to try that out. But at least that gives us a rough idea of what we can expect. It's not really getting rid of the clicks, but it does cut some of the tongue attack down. Okay, monosynth time. We want some sustain. Filter is fine where it is. I don't think we need any that. Just so that we can hear. Okay, there should be some sustain on it. Okay, let's try the poly. Oh, there we go. We have sustain there for some reason. Maybe I'm not sure why the filter is still active. Okay, we couldn't make the poly make sense, but what we're going to do is, because it's sustaining in the way that the mono isn't, we're going to just do our experiments with that. So basically, we want to see if it responds to the clicks. Here we go. It is responding to the clicks. Oh, it didn't there. Without any filter, it didn't respond. Respond, yes, awesome. Do you hear that? How it's not responding to the clicks? Coming up now. Yes, there we go. Okay, the other thing is that I was thinking that the filter envelope off position was in the middle, but it's not, it's all the way down there. So let's try mono again. Maybe that's what was going on there. No. Okay. No, we're still not getting any sustain on the mono synth. Okay, but that is some proof of concept. We need to figure out why that mono is not sustaining, but poly is sustaining. Let's try, we have another sample of this similar kind. There we go, it's not picking up on the click. Okay. The mysteries of why that mono mode is not sustaining withstanding. That's a really good experiment there. We got we got a little bit of confirmation about how the envelope filter is going to work for us, and we do want to do more of that. But assuming that we can get the mono to sustain, then this may well work, because what we can then do is we can use this going into the, as well as on its own, we can use it in front of the Super Ego Plus to filter out the clicks, and it'll be like the synth tones that are going into, like the wet synth tones, 100% wet synth tones that will be going into the Super Ego Plus. So essentially the clicks will be filtered out. Okay, very productive. We will be coming back to this another time soon. Okay, one more thing that we wanted to try very quickly with the Enzo before we switch it out for the Horizont, and that is something we were thinking about, the monosynth mode. Now, monosynth mode, it could be that the reason it wasn't working, the reason that we weren't getting any notes, was because there were too many overtones in the notes we were playing, and it didn't know what mono to focus on. So what we've done is we've got a sample here of the lower mids range of the contrabass clarinet, which is the highest range of the clarinet, and we're going to see if that responds any better. So here's our sample. No. There's something funny going on there. I wish I knew what it was. Yeah. Okay. Well, a worthy idea. Unfortunately, not going to work. Just to lift my spirits, let's try Polly one more time. See, Polly seems to be acting more like mono now. Oh, there we go. That's more Polly. Okay. Well, Polly is working, but mono isn't for some reason. Let's see. Maybe the people at Meris can help me with that. Let's see where things go. Okay, moving on.